everybody, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, yesterday, I let you off easy. We did some fun news, some light news, but the FTC stuff is still going on, and I'm still obsessed with it, and I'm gonna cover it. Get over it! Because the curtain to the corporate world has been pulled back, and we're seeing all the inside baseball stuff, and it's just wild. It appears the Bethesda acquisition by Microsoft Xbox was not as peachy keen as it appeared. A 2022 email from Bethesda executive Pete Hines showcases his frustration with Microsoft and their view towards Bethesda games versus Call of Duty. "I'm confused," Hines writes. "Is the below, a Microsoft statement about Call of Duty staying multi-platform, not the opposite of what we were just told to do with our own titles? What's the difference?" The statement in question was from a Microsoft blog post that attempted to address any regulator concerns about the Activision Blizzard acquisition, and clearly caused some major internal miscommunication. The difference here, of course, if you want to talk facts and figures, is Xbox is spending way more for Activision Blizzard than they did for Bethesda. And I get it, but at the same time, I also understand where Bethesda's coming from, because their games are now hampered to one platform, a platform that is currently in third place. And really, if I had to guess, this blog post that Microsoft did was one of those, we're trying to grease the wheels to get this whole deal done, and this is for the FTC more than it is for anyone else, and maybe then they would approve this merger with no problem, I think was their objective there. It has been anything but that. The email continues from there. "Did anyone at Xbox think about giving us a heads up on this? Todd's going to DICE in a couple of weeks. You don't think a journo might find him and press him on why it's okay for Call of Duty or any Activision Blizzard games, but not the Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield? Or at every future event he does?" And for those of you who've been following along and recall the testimony earlier this week and last week, Phil Spencer just said it's too early to say if Elder Scrolls 6 would be an Xbox exclusive, but this email clearly states otherwise. I don't know, gang. The more we learn, the more that comes out, it feels like this merger's not going to happen. And if you would have asked me 3 months ago, I would have been like, look, I don't think it's good for gaming, but it'll probably happen. Now, I'm not too sure. With the CMA and the FTC basically on the same page and saying, this probably isn't good for consumers. Yeah, I agree, but I didn't think the government would, so this is fascinating. And before we move on to the next story, I want to address this because I know it's something I always see in the comments. People tend to think that I'm just like hammering Xbox. If Sony was the company doing all this, I do the exact same thing. I think just all these mergers and all these acquisitions are bad for consumers in general. If Sony started buying up stuff, if it was like Sony's going for Call of Duty, we'd be the exact same news right now. I don't know. I just feel like I need to stress that because it's going to be another thumbnail about Xbox and people are going to come in here and be like, you hater. No, man, I want good games all around. I just want fair business practices as well. Speaking of wanting good games, we may all soon be wanting a very good game that's getting a remaster? Red Dead Redemption remaster? Thanks to a listing in Korea? According to IGN, the listing is completely separate from the original 2010 Red Dead Redemption, as the rating for this can still be seen on the GRAC's website, as well as Red Dead Redemption 2, which is also listed as its own entity. Which, I'll be honest, has got a lot of folks, me included, saying, yeehaw, it's been 13 years since the game's release, and in this era of remakes and remasters, hell, it's about damn time we got a Red Dead Redemption all glowed up. But you may be saying, Jesse, partner, don't get my hopes up. Don't do this to me. Well, it may in fact be more than just rumor. The South Korean ratings board has been the source of many leaks for the past few years. The GRAC listed the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign remaster ahead of its official announcement, for example, and recently leaked the unannounced Lego football video game from 2K. And let's be honest, a remaster from Rockstar wouldn't be too out there. I mean, they just hit us with the GTA remaster in 2021 of the trilogy, right? Now, as I'm sure many of you recall, the remaster of Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, well, it didn't do that well, as it currently sits at a 49 Metascore and a 0.6 user score on Metacritic due to all the technical issues and rough visuals. But it means there's a chance that this is more than just rumor and actually something we're gonna see. And hopefully it won't be another Grand Theft Auto remaster, because I don't think any of us want to be sitting in our chairs saying,
"Oh shit, here we go again."
Anyway, that's it for today's 5-Minute Gaming News. See you tomorrow.